Okay, so in this one, we'll discuss the formula for validation. Okay, once you have perceived the niche and your assets, and then now you're thinking of getting like-minded people to formulate a community, which is an essential element for blitzscaling. You might want to validate first whether the demand is enough for something like this. Okay, now this is basically to do that, right? Now, how do you do this, right? That if you see a screen, the size of the addressable target market, right? You might be able to gauge what sort of a market size exists out there for your relevant target audience that you're looking at. Same mission, assets to be consumed, etc., etc. This will come from the resourcing, that is your researching that you're doing. And once you research similar principles, right, you'll get a target audience by virtue of doing so many questions that you ask yourself, and the finding solutions to those things will give you the size of the target market, right, that typically are part of. And you do this typically by going to those groups and seeing what is the size of similar groups, right? So you get an inkling of what those sizes are typically. And then based on that size, you'll see, based on the niche that you had created earlier, what is the persona and what is the number of people that you're looking at. So it'll give you a roughly a sizable audience that you can look at, right? Who can be participative in something like this in your community. Then the existing competition, which I just mentioned through, right? When you see various membership forums out there, you'll know the number of members. And once you know the number of members, at least in the top, say, 10, 15, or maybe 20%, right? You can just extrapolate it to know the existing competition as the research, right? So the size of the market is known. You know the existing competition. Now multiply that with the passion of the target market, right? We did that exercise in the previous one, right? So use that here. Now this will give you an outcome, which is your demand. All right. Now the answer you get here, you match it with the column which is on the right hand side, the demand, right? Easiness, the easiness of community to succeed. So very difficult. If it's between 1 and 4, your demand is 1 and 4, it's very difficult for creating and building. But if it's 20 plus, it's an absolute chance of running to the next level, right? So that is how you start validating your potential community that you want to create for your future. And the formula is given, and the way to do this was discussed, right? Now, as an exercise, right, we need to complete something with an exercise, right? We end the day with the tools that will be used for community building, right? That's going to be a smaller, very, very small kind of a session. But as an exercise, as a challenge, you use a framework to evaluate your community targets of the current community success. That means you use this formula to now work using the templates that are given to you to create an outcome and decide for yourself which community would work, or the platform that you can create to work based on your niche and your digital assets that you create have created, and for the ones for the future. And how will you, if not, and how will you attract those people, right? So this is what you do. This you reevaluate until the point you have an absolute, great chance to an absolute chance of doing this. Okay. With that, I will see you for the tools. Okay, and in a minute. Bye.